A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to your lunchtime news on MTV Sports. I'm Hizrina Hizbi. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. Special Police Division set up to investigate on large-scale financial fraud. Parliamentarians Mahindananda Alusgamage and Sajin Divas Gunawardena summoned to the CID. Former Minister makes a statement on the common presidential candidate. One person killed and 4 others injured in a brawl in Beliatha. Let's start off with a look at your local news. The Criminal Investigation Department has recorded statements from MPs Mahindananda Alusgamage and Sajin Divas Gunawardena. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohini stated that they were questioned with regard to a complaint lodged by an individual over generating income.
Complaint had been received on financial frauds against members of Parliament, Mr. Mahindananda Alusgamage and Mr. Sachin Gunawardena. Accordingly, CID summoned them yesterday to the CID, and their statements were recorded. Further investigations are being continued.
General Secretary of the Democratic Left Front, Vasudeva Nanayakara, says that the rule of the government will end on the 23rd of April.
A meeting organised by the Socialist People's Front took place yesterday at the auditorium of the Public Library in Colombo. Meeting was presided by the Secretary of the Socialist People's Front, Attorney at Law Raja Kulure. The United National Party is governing the country, but the United National Party has no majority in Parliament. Yet, they make various statements and level various challenges. On the other hand, sections of the opposition are confused. Ranil Wickremesinghe is speaking of once again being repressive to the people by levelling challenges. The leader of the party, who does not even have 5 seats in Parliament, was sworn in as the Prime Minister. Is this good governance? There was a difficulty in operating independently while staying with the government. Now we do not have that issue. The historic moment of the conflict was achieved when it was concluded. National unity left out grasps. At that time we continuously told the government. They did not take notice of what we told. It is not surprising when the minority communities did not vote at the presidential election. It was not the talents of Ranil Wickremesinghe that made this happen. Ranil Wickremesinghe won because of the closed ears of the government. We couldn't win because the best in our cabinet was selected against us and they won. He was the talented one. We in the inside did not realize who the best man was, but the enemy outside saw it. I recommend that a no-confidence motion be brought into Parliament on the run-up to the 23rd of April, so that the power of the government can be destroyed. Then there will not be a cabinet. During the election, we will also face problems. We require only one thing, that is to bring together the people's force. I'm not doing the work of Mahinda Rajapaksa. I did not do it even when I was in the government. I cannot read out the content of the letters I wrote. For me, what is important is the people, the power of the country, and not him. A new situation has been created. The minds of the ordinary person is in confusion. As politicians, we find it difficult to understand this. This changes on a daily basis. The change was made in Singapore, and stable situation of the state employees is put into a situation where the wages and pensions will be done on contract basis. We need to select the state employees. If not, they will go astray. Under an interim government, Ranil Wickremesinghe has no power to make any serious changes. Ranil Wickremesinghe served as the opposition leader for 22 years. The leader of the opposition is considered as the shadow prime minister of the shadow government. However, when he is the Prime Minister without a majority, we say that he has no right to stay as the interim government. Our opposition leader does not need to act as the Prime Minister.
Also in local news this afternoon, a financial fraud investigation division coming under the purview of the police department was launched today. The aim of the division is to investigate large-scale financial fraud that may have taken place when awarding contracts for various projects. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohanu said that complaints that have been made to the Cabinet Subcommittee will also be investigated by this division. Now, meanwhile, the police media spokesperson stated that a special security arrangement will be in place ahead of the Pudukkudi Ripu and Maritime Pattu Pradeshiya Sabha elections.
Two local government elections are to be held. Campaigning activities ended at midnight yesterday. Police patrol units have been deployed to enforce election laws in those areas. Special security arrangements have been deployed in those areas, and the special task force will be deployed if the need arises. We have taken all the necessary steps to conduct a peaceful election.
Meanwhile, the election secretariat says that all political officers that have been established for the Pudukkudi Ripu and Maritime Pattu Pradeshiya Sabha elections should be removed with effect from midnight today. Additional Elections Commissioner R.M.A.L. Rathnayaka said that candidates, however, will be able to maintain an office at their residence. However, Rathnayaka added that such officers should not carry out any activities that promote the candidate. Also in local news, a seminar to brief on the 100-day program took place in Colombo.
When we look at why Mahinda Rajapaksa, who won the war, lost in the polls, we understood that he had no program to overcome the economical war. It is only through overcoming the economical war that our government can move ahead in a stable manner. Certain things that were promised in January and February are yet to be fulfilled. For example, the National Audit Bill was to be introduced a few days ago. However, it is still being looked into by the Attorney General's Department. Although there are slight delays in the 100-day program, the people are aware that the government is committed to fulfill the promises it made.
මේ රජය අත වශයෙන්ම මේ පොරොන්දු ටික ඉෂ්ට කරන්න කැප වෙලා ඉන්න බව. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් රටක පාලකයෙක් පරාජයටපත් වුණාම අපි දන්නවා.
When a ruler of the country suffers defeat, you do not hear from him for a long time. He stays at home. More than those who celebrated the victory of Maithripala Sirisena, there was a trend of terming the defeat of Mahinda Rajapaksa as an act of heroism. People started to make pilgrimages to Madamulana. The victorious one, in a very condescending manner, requested that he not be addressed as His Excellency. At the same time, the defeated one started making statements like a lion.
ප්‍රකාශනිකුත් කරන්නට පටන් ගත්තා මේ රටේ ජනතාව අමතලා. උදේකොට රැළිය විමල් වීරවංශගේ හුදුමනව පමණක් නෙමෙයි. හරි ඒක පිටිපස්සේ මහින්ද.
The rally in Nugeguda was not only the brainchild of Vimal Veeravansa. It included the future political journey of Mahinda Rajapaksa. So, when Dinesh Gunawardena, Vasudeva, Gammanpila and others need to move ahead in Sri Lankan politics, they face an issue. They need the symbol of Mahinda Rajapaksa. There are certain persons in the United National Party who want to bring in some sort of validity for Mahinda Rajapaksa's politics as an election is drawing closer. Why? To split the SLFP in two. At this time I can say that more than the UNP, the SLFP wants to end Mahinda Rajapaksa. Why? This force does not want to see him rising once again.
Venerable Dr. Dambara Amilathero notes that there is a need for a national policy over the illegal possession of elephant calves.
Elephants are tamed or are being brought from the wild under the regulations for religious affairs or cultural affairs. Anyone can hide behind a placard and do anything. Today, the elephants have fallen victim to the crisis where all the things that can be sold generate money. There are monks also involved. It is like the gang in Nugegoda who are trying to wipe out the culture. This is the conspiracy of the imperialists.
Dilip Vedarachi, the State Minister of Fisheries, says that the era where underworld leaders control the nation is over.
The State Minister of Fisheries inspected the Tangol Fisheries Harbour yesterday. During the previous administration, when there is an issue, the OIC gets up from his seat and says, "Yes, sir," when he gets that call from a certain place. When a murder is committed, it is covered up. When burglary takes place, the burglar is sent home. It was the underworld leaders who ruled this district. Today we have put an end to that era. We will eradicate it all. We will end the drug dealers. Recently, officers from the Suryawaba police had assaulted a man and he died. All 6 of them were arrested and legal action is being taken. That is the good governance of Maithripala Sirisena and Ranil Wickramasinghe.
Also in news here at home, several diplomats presented their credentials to President Maithripala Sirisena this morning at the Presidential Secretariat. Joining us now is News First's Nadeem Majid.
Well, the ceremony for the presenting of credentials of 3 new ambassadors designate took place this morning at the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo. The ambassador designate of Georgia, the ambassador designate of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and the ambassador designate of the People's Republic of China presented their credentials to President Maithripala Sirisena today. This was of special significance because this is the first presenting of credentials that President Maithripala Sirisena has presided over. From the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo, Nadeem Majid, Newsfirst.
1 person was killed in a brawl that took place during an attempted shooting in Cabo Savala, Beliatha. 4 others have sustained injuries. The police said that 4 persons who had arrived in a car last evening had attempted to gun down the owner of a house. At that time, there had been a tussle over the gun. The office of the police media spokesperson said that the shooter, who was assaulted by the locals, was admitted to hospital and later succumbed to his injuries. 2 persons who arrived in the car and 2 others who were close to the house were also injured. The office of the police media spokesperson said that 6 persons have been arrested over the brawl. Investigations have revealed that this was a result of a personal dispute and the Beliatha police is conducting extensive investigations. And in sports news this afternoon, Sri Lanka are currently taking on Bangladesh in a Pool A encounter of the ICC Cricket World Cup. Winning the toss and batting first, Sri Lanka got off to the start they have been looking for, with openers Lahiru Thirimana and TM Dilshan putting on an opening partnership of 122, both scoring half centuries. Thirimana fell for 52 runs. That brought in veteran power hitter Kumar Sangakkara to the crease. Kumar Sangakkara paired up with Dilshan and fired the ball to the fence and over, eventually recording a 50 in his 400th one-day international. Dilshan, meanwhile, went on to score century number 21 under the bright skies, and then his 150-plus score, his 3rd in ODI cricket, and Sangakkara then went on to record a century, his 22nd in ODI cricket. Now Sri Lanka were on 326 runs for the loss of 1 wicket in the 49th
That's
over.
a good hit against. Now what with the answer? Almost an anticlimax, knowing he hit it. But well played, Tilaratne Dilshan. Just goes on.
He has been, and he's come from being a middle order player, a flashy.
Also in cricketing action from the 2015 World Cup, dramatic scenes unfolded at the University Oval in Dunedin as Afghanistan recorded their first ever win at a Cricket World Cup when they defeated Scotland in a thrilling encounter today. Batting first, Scotland posted 210 runs on the board, all out in their 50 overs. Matt Marchand top scored for the Scots with 31 runs, while Rishi Berrington and Kyle Kurtzer contributed with 25 runs each. Shapur Zadran claimed 4 Scottish wickets, while Dawlat Zadran bagged 3 wickets. Although Afghanistan got off to a reasonable start, chasing 211, wickets collapsed, leaving them 97 runs for the loss of 7 wickets, despite a 51-run knock by opener Javed Ahmadi. Samuel Shanwari stayed strong at the crease to score 96 and provided the Afghans with the firepower they needed. However, it was the final pair who made it all happen for the Afghans, defying all odds and a ruthless Scottish bowling attack. Afghanistan won the game by a wicket. And that's a wrap of the day's edition of Lunchtime News on MTV Sports. I'm Hizrina Hizbi. Have a pleasant Thursday ahead.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.